What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah? Jermaine Dupri, king of the pedophiles, if you ask me, baby. Shit. Jermaine Dupri.
Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is gone.
I was telling you about, right? Because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did.
Katt is back at it, y'all, and this time he is exposing Diddy's alleged SA of his bad boy artists. Katt says artists signed to Bad Boy Records were living a nightmare because Diddy tried to control every aspect of their lives and careers, and when they tried to leave his dictatorship, he sabotaged their careers, and that's not even the half of it. According to Katt, Diddy runs Bad Boy like a red light district, pimping out his artists and even SAing them, and if they didn't want to comply with his wishes, he drugged them and pimped them to his friends to teach them a lesson. It's so bad that some of the artists ended up hooked on drugs, in prison, or dead, but they can't even talk about it because of the military-grade NDAs Diddy makes them sign. Now, we know Katt always has something to say about Diddy and his shenanigans, but did Diddy really SA his bad boy artists and pimp them out? What in the world was going on in those bad boy offices? Let's break it down. Katt Williams recently called Diddy out for allegedly trying to pay him to hang out with him, if you know what I mean. However, according to Katt, his situation is much better because he can say no and refuse Diddy's advances without having his source of livelihood cut off. Some people don't have this luxury, and they are none other than Diddy's bad boy artists. According to Katt, Diddy is a terrible person to work for because he is controlling and manipulative. The worst part is artists can't really speak up because of the ironclad NDAs Diddy makes them sign. They also can't leave because Diddy has long arms, and he knows how to use them to find his artists and make their lives miserable. Now pay attention if you haven't already been doing so, because Katt Williams is not the first or the only person who has called Diddy out for SAing his bad boy artists. Jaguar Wright has been on this matter for a long time now, and if you know Jaguar at all, then you know she makes it her mission to expose all the predators in the industry until every last one of them is sent to the gallows. According to Jaguar, Diddy is just about the worst boss because he likes to take advantage of upcoming artists by asking them to go down on him and dangling record deals in their faces as a reward. Jaguar, and you know she's not one for BS, once talked about how a female lawyer she knew who worked for Bad Boy Records caught Diddy pants down with one of his artists. Jag said the lawyer was innocently doing her job and trying to get the boss to sign some papers when she entered his office and found Christopher Williams going down on Diddy. The lawyer allegedly tried to play it cool until Diddy brought it up the next day, talking about some, "I'll do whatever the F I want to do in my building." According to Jaguar, Diddy said it was all about power for him, because if he could make a man go down on him for a demo deal, he could anybody do anything for money. Jag also pointed out that Diddy has a pattern of luring in hopeful upcoming artists with promises of a great career, but when they fell for his trap, he drugged them, used them, and dumped them. Need I mention Diddy met Cassie in the exact same way? Cassie was only 19, mind you, and Diddy recognized her talent and signed her to Bad Boy Records. According to the lawsuit she filed against him, Diddy started sliding into Cassie's life under the disguise of being a fatherly figure. He started advising her on how to live, what to wear, and who to hang out with. Then he started flying her out to secluded locations before finally forcing her to be his girlfriend. When you're a starry-eyed, barely adult girl being romanced by a successful music and business mogul who also happens to be your boss, you don't really have options. In the lawsuit, Cassie described how Diddy put his paws on her, SA'd her, and trafficked her. And going by the fact that Cassie's music career never really took off, it's evident that Diddy never really took her career seriously. I mean, how are you one of the most successful guys in the music industry and your long-term girlfriend's career just flops? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. After Cassie's story came out, several former Bad Boy artists supported her. One of them was Aubrey O'Day from the girl band Danity Kane. When Diddy signed Danity Kane, fans expected them to become the next biggest sensation because those girls had talent. However, things started to go south when Diddy began trying to control everything about the girls. From the type of hair they wore to the food they ate, Diddy also body shamed and slut shamed them and then tried to sleep with them.
Diddy, he was the hardest person that you can work for, and it was torture. And not the work part of it, but the other stuff. Mind games, like just all the girls were so divided, and the men and the people running it had their hands in it, moving everything. There was a lot of betrayal. There was a lot of lies. So it's difficult when you're that young to understand your worth as a woman through the men that I was around. And that was very traumatic. I don't think any of us have healed from that. Diddy would be like, you're not hot anymore. Like, what happened? You don't have anything, like, you don't have any curves. You're looking like you're not looking like, I can't get people to think that you're my good looking person. And there was no Me Too at that time. There was no protecting anyone at that time.
Unfortunately for him, Aubrey was not down for Diddy's manipulative tactics, so the two disagreed on many things.
Thing you could imagine why somebody would want to fire somebody.
Can you give us a little?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions.
What's crazy is it turns out the reason why Diddy tried so hard to control the girls' appearance was not because of their own public image. It was so they could look perfect for the men he liked to pimp them out to after pumping them full of drugs. But don't take it from me. Take it from Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard.
Because I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said, in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them out and pimp them out to my nigga. He said, I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my nigga. I was like, them somebody kids, and walked out.
Remember how Diddy suddenly decided to give his artists their masters back in the name of doing the right thing? Well, Aubrey saw right through his BS. She exposed that the part Diddy conveniently left out was that in exchange for giving them back the rights to their music, he was making them sign NDAs forbidding them from ever talking about their time at Bad Boy or publicly disparaging Diddy, his mother Janice Combs, and his son Justin Combs, another of Diddy's artists who have come out to criticize Diddy for the way they were treated under Bad Boy Records is Maze. Mace and Diddy started as friends, but soon had a huge falling out that caused Mace to leave Bad Boy. After Mace left Bad Boy, Diddy was allegedly so salty about one of his artists having the audacity to leave that he made sure Mace got blacklisted in the industry. On top of that, Mace later revealed that Diddy was owing him money from the songs he wrote while he was at Bad Boy, but of course Diddy denied it and even called Mace a fake pastor. But here's where it gets darker. After Mace left, he dropped a diss track aimed at Diddy where he said some disturbing lines like, "You try to starve my kids and give my money to his firstborn. Never pay the artists, but they love to pay the freaks." Knowing what we now know about Diddy's love for freaky things and freak-offs, fans were revisiting these lines and wondering if Mace was trying to pass a message across all along. Did Diddy make Mace do the same things he asked Cassie to do during those freak-offs she talked about in her lawsuit? Only Mace can answer that. Then there's Tanya Blount, who also exposed Diddy for ruining her career and driving her to the brink of unaliving herself. When Diddy signed Tanya, everything looked bright and hopeful for her. She was meeting big artists, recording with big producers, living the life. Then everything came to a screeching halt when Diddy suddenly lost interest in her project. He forced Tanya to record countless songs that she didn't like, but none of them ever got released. After several delays, he eventually scrapped her entire album and told her to forget her dreams. It would later turn out that the reason why Diddy messed up Tanya's music career like that is that he allegedly tried to get her in bed, and she wasn't down for that. The list of Bad Boy artists Diddy treated like this is so long that it shows a clear pattern of and manipulation. It's almost like when artists get signed to Bad Boy Records, their dreams start dying if they refuse to dance to Diddy's tune. Even when they do cooperate with Diddy, Diddy still mismanages their career and throws their dreams away. In one interview, Jaguar Wright pointed out that everyone who started Uptown Records with Diddy ended up either deed or almost deed.
I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the...
However, Jaguar also said that the reason why they all ended up tragically like that is that they were planning to write tell-all books about Diddy and their experiences working with him, and he couldn't have that information out in public, so he had to take care of them, if you know what I mean.
You want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books.
Now, when it comes to Katt, he has been talking about how Diddy always takes advantage of his bad boy artists for a long time. In 2011, he made a video calling out Diddy and Jermaine Dupri for pimping and SAing their artists. He even called them the P word.
What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah? Jermaine Dupri, king of the pedophiles, if you ask me, baby. Shit.
According to Katt, the things we think we know about Diddy barely scratch the surface of the depravity that goes down behind Bad Boy Records' closed doors. However, the reason why we don't know the full picture is that Diddy has enforcers everywhere in the industry that help him keep his artists in check. So if they even think of trying to expose him, he knows how to get them and hit them where it hurts. Honestly, it's kind of a miracle that Diddy hasn't been canceled yet, considering all the dirt that just keeps getting dug up about him. Fans have also come for Diddy all over the internet, with one saying, "Sad thing is that with all that talent and those hots, Bad Boy could have been unstoppable and bigger than Def Jam. Puffy's greed and determination to keep his own artists from eating is catching up to him. We see him abusing alcohol a lot more, and he's spiraling. Not to mention, all of his secrets are illuminating. His time is surely coming." Another person said he literally chewed people up and spat them out. So sad. He got rich off their backs with no remorse. I'm sure there's a special place in hell just for him. Anyway, do you think Diddy is really as shady as these former Bad Boy artists' stories make him look, or is it all just a big misunderstanding? Comment down below and check out this next video before you go.